time for the Savor Food Podcast with Southwest Florida's favorite chef, Matt Geiger. Well, welcome back, listeners and viewers. Charlie McDermott, co-host, producer of the show, and we have yet another delicious episode. We're back here with Chef Matt. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing good this Monday morning, Charlie. How are you?
I'm doing terrific, but you know, I'm going to erase the topic for today because I noticed on your desk you've got some pretty cool awards, and I thought we'd spend a few minutes talking about this because they're not for show. I mean, there's some significance to these awards. So let's start, Matt, with big congratulations once again.
Thank you. You know, it's we've been open 4 consecutive years, and 4 consecutive years we've gotten this award for the Couples Choice Awards through WeddingWire. And if you guys don't know WeddingWire is the biggest wedding lead generation site on the planet. If you need to find any sort of vendors, top to bottom, venues, houses, photographers, any vendors that you need to get your wedding done, you can find that through WeddingWire. And then through WeddingWire, there's, different opportunities for vendors to promote themselves or sponsor themselves. There's a way that you can contact an email straight through the website and not even go through regular email. And it's just the biggest tool that you can really use on the internet, in my opinion. And last year they teamed up with the other giant conglomerate called The Knot, and that was the competitor website, but now they've come together and they're, this big superpower when it comes to putting weddings together. So, being on their website helps out a lot, and they recognize, when good things are happening with their vendors. I mean, they have thousands of vendors on there. I mean, it's a huge tool, but it's all reviews based. So, thank you to all the people that gave me the reviews and shed the light on my company and my service and all that kind of stuff. That's really where these awards come from. They're not just like an arbitrary thing that they give you.
Right.
It just comes from actual brides and vendors leaving reviews on our website through WeddingWire. And, at the end of the year, they award everybody that's held the 5-star rating and gave best service. And, I can only thank all of them for making it happen for me,
Right.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the newest one is 2023. So since 2020, that's, we were incepted in 2019 officially. That year we didn't really do much. And then 2020 obviously was COVID. But 2020 was our first actual year doing weddings and big events and stuff like that. So consecutively, for the last 4 years, we're going to try to keep the ball rolling,
Wow. Yeah, and with all those vendors on that site, and just is WeddingWire, is that a global site or is it mostly U.S.?
I don't know. I know for sure it's U.S. and maybe I would assume so. I would assume that it's a global site, because it's kind of regionally based. So our region here is technically the Naples region, but that includes Marco, Fort Myers, LaBelle, Port Charlotte. This whole area is kind of wrapped into the Naples region. Okay. I would assume that there was regions, overseas and stuff like that.
Yeah. Pretty cool. So it's not one of those, you pay and you win type of situations, obviously.
No.
And it's not even based on, I was going to say not based on judges, but the judges are
my clients,
customers. Yeah. Which is
and I learned a new thing this year is that, even if you have, you have 5-star ratings through the year, you have to hold an average. So if you get one star and you drop below that like 4.6 or 4.5, I believe it's 4.6 or 4.5, but you don't get the award. So you have to be above that. So reviews matter, and the more good reviews you have, the better. Obviously everybody knows that, but they don't realize the impact that just one bad review makes. And it's not one bad review cancels out one good review. I don't know how the system works, but in my opinion, you need 5 good reviews to cancel out one bad review. 5-star rating system, right? So you got to make up for every star. I don't really know the technicalities, but it's not 1-to-1. That's still a 2.5-star rating. You know what I mean? If you get a 1-star rating and a 5-star rating, that's still a 2.5-star rating. So you need 5 good reviews for a bad review. And, we try our best. And, when people aren't happy, that's a part of the job that really matters most, is trying to do something for them or just trying to get into why and how we can help it and how we can fix it. And, customer service, in my opinion, is going downhill everywhere. And I think it's really important that we maintain that, within our company. And, so far we've been doing a pretty good job, but you can't keep everybody happy.
No. And stuff happens, but I think, what made you guys so successful, and we've gotten to know Mitchie and your team, and it again starts at the top. Training, I know you guys do a lot. The culture is important. We talked about uniforms and significance of that in past episodes. So all that makes a huge difference, a huge impact. And hey, and we've talked about this in other episodes. When mistakes happens, as they inevitably will in any business, you guys stand up and not only take care of it, but make it better. And that's
and you have to, because it's everybody. The biggest thing is that we're all people, right? So whether you're getting served or being served to, or whatever it is, or even our servers, like everybody's can make a mistake. Our systems are growing not from the things that we do successfully, but everything that our system is getting better at is because of small mistakes here and oversights there. Like I tell my staff all the time, like the good parties, those aren't the ones that I even really care about, because they're all supposed to be good. It's the ones that don't go quite as well, and maybe the customer doesn't notice, but for us, we notice it doesn't. Those are the times where we need to go, okay, we need to make an adjustment here, because no matter what, the guest is going to get a good experience. But now we're to the point to where, how can we make our experience working it good as well? It's always, people go into their wedding day or their big event or their big galas, and, it's very stressful for them. And our job is to make it less stressful, if not have no stress for them. And the biggest part of making it not stressful for them is not being stressed out ourselves, and it's a very difficult line, because there's so many moving parts, So, it matters. People's opinions matter. And, I always tell people, be as objective as you can. You're hiring professionals, but they're people too. We've had a couple, difficult-ish people in the last year as we grow and we're doing more events, and not everybody's just like, here, do this, we trust you. Some people are a little bit more particular, and and those, believe it or not, even if they're a little bit more difficult to us, they make our systems better, they make our contracts better, they make us look at the things that maybe we don't see. With the person that trusts us, it's, here you go, okay, done, we'll see you there. With people that are particular stuff, it's like, okay, now every little thing on there is a little bit scrutinized, and it's like, we're not used to that sometimes. So so it puts us through it, and those are the things that make us better. And as frustrating as it can be, if you can't deal with those times, then the good times you're going to take for granted.
So, that is so true in my business. I went through something recently that it wasn't necessarily someone scrutinizing it, but I could just tell
Mhm.
our directions weren't real clear enough for everyone,
Right,
and
right,
and you could have been offended by that or taken aback or like, well,
right.
that's just that. But it allowed me to go, you know what? Let's review that, because
Yeah.
obviously this isn't clear for everyone. So how can we improve
Even
that?
if you think it is.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I
and
read our contract all the time and I'm like, this is pretty straightforward.
yeah,
And if there's something missing, like I have stuff added to our contract that might not necessarily be like things that you need to agree to, but just informative,
yeah,
like how things are and whatever. And it's still, some people it slips through.
yeah,
Little things
yeah.
slip through.
I think that the challenge as a business owner is we know our business so well and the ins and outs that you just kind of you fill in between the lines, and it's really
Yeah.
important to lay it all out there. That yeah, and have a stranger read. That's always a good thing. Have
Yeah.
someone who's not familiar with your business read it and go, "What's this mean?" Right?
Right.
Oh,
Right.
come on,
Well, I
it's
mean,
so clear.
so, and then what was I going to say? Oh, you just made me blank out. But the amount of people that simply don't read the contract is
Well, yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. It is. Yeah,
And it's not something that we wait to send out. We send it on the very first proposal out.
yeah,
It's attached to every single thing that you get from us. It has the terms on it.
yeah,
And the amount of people that don't read it is astounding.
yeah,
I had Mitchie recently because we get calls all the time. And, I said, well, why don't you just put in your signature on your email that a lot of your questions can be answered simply by reading the contract. Just put it in your
yeah,
signature.
yeah.
And it's we've been doing it for like 3 weeks now, and it's cut down on a
Yeah.
lot of questions, like a lot. Like I would say 50% of the calls that come through with people that have open proposals or
Mhm.
open contracts, the info that they're calling about is already in there.
There.
They just
Yeah.
haven't read it,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Good.
it's learning curves all over the
Yeah.
place,
Yeah.
and now we're about to go into this new spot, and it's going to be a even
Yeah.
bigger learning curve with everybody, because I'm going to change a lot of our systems, and it's going to be a little bit of a shell shock,
Yeah.
but it's all for the better.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put out a better product, better systems, better way of doing everything, and
Yeah.
once that opens up over there, it's going to be a big game changer, hopefully.
Yeah.
you know
That's awesome. Well, so question then for listeners, for viewers, as you mentioned, WeddingWire,
Mhm.
huge resource, which is awesome. But it sounds like that these awards can really help someone whittle down, save them time, and focus on, I'm going to just call it the cream of the crop here.
Right.
And so, is that the best way to use these awards in a site like WeddingWire and other places?
Well, I would say when you say best way, everybody has their own opinion of how they want to choose out their vendors. Some
Yeah,
people are strictly on price. Some people don't care about price and they want the best and the best. I would say that, having the people that get these awards, those are going to give you the confidence that they've already been through what you're trying to do,
yeah,
and they've done
yeah,
it successfully enough to be given these awards. So, are they the best? There's a lot of people out there with these awards, and out of those categories, there's going to be better ones and not better ones. But at least if you pick somebody with good reviews, good awards, good online presence, and all that, you can be confident in your choice by knowing they've done what you're trying to do already, and they've done it successfully.
yeah, yeah,
That's the best way I can say it.
yeah, yeah. Good.
So
Okay. Well, that helps. That helps. I mean, there's so many vendors for depending on the event. It's just nice to have a beginning point and
yeah, I mean,
rather than
I shouldn't say like, oh, don't give the underdogs a chance, because I was an underdog
right.
not too long ago. It
Right.
hasn't been that long. I'm very new business, very young business still, being at 4 years. But um, I've always wanted to instill the confidence as if I wasn't new.
Yeah.
So it's always been very important to me to have a good online presence, a good review base, you know, anything out there to where you go, oh yeah, no, I've heard about you guys. That little like thing in your mind gives you a little bit more confidence. And I've always, even since day one, I've always not wanted to play the, oh, I'm new, give me a chance. It's, I know what I'm doing. You'll be confident in your choice. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
So.
Yep. Well, speaking of let's do this, you've been involved in a major project for quite a while now. What's the latest on the coffee shop and your new location?
We're getting close. So, we've got furniture in, it's painted. We got, all of it looks like it should be. There's a few hangups, with utilities companies, gas and electric. That's our biggest thing. And I'm hoping we can be functional in there in the next couple weeks. And I'm hoping that we can move over there shortly after, because I got a lot of plans for this place. I mean, not just the coffee shop, but, being able to have our own space with the catering company and help out with a little bit more menu development and test kitchens. And, for the customer side, I'd really like to get some classes going, or maybe some, chef's tables and private dinners. And, I have a lot of plans for this, and it's been a long time coming. We've been working on it since last July. So it's time. I'm getting there with the build out. I'm ready to just, it's there, and
almost touch it.
It's, I know,
coffee.
I'm there. Yes. And the kitchen is beautiful and open, and, you'll be able to see while you're drinking your coffee, you'll be able to see everything that's happening with the catering side. You'll be able to see us prepping and discussing things. And, I just think it's going to be a cool experience. You're not just going to go in and get your coffee and leave. If you hang out, you get to know the chefs pretty good, because they're going to be right there. And I've been talking to a lot of other restaurant friends, and they're a little wary of the open kitchen concept. But for me, I mean, I stood behind a sushi bar for 4 years, and that was one of the best parts, is having people in front of me. Granted that the work gets done, that's the kicker. So maybe I'm not worried about the guests so much, but I'm like keeping my chefs busy. But it's going to be a good experience. If we're breaking down fish for a catering, you're going to be able to see it. If we're breaking down, meat into steaks, or making sauces, and you'll be able to see it and ask questions, and we're going to be right there. It's going to be cool. I'm very excited. It's going to be very cool.
So we're recording this on Easter Monday, which is April 10th, 2023. And what's the new location, Matt?
It's over off of Island Park in 41. So it's 16520 South Tamiami Trail. And it's right there in the R&L Global Logistics Plaza, Island Park Plaza. There's a couple other restaurants in there. It's called the Clam Bake, which has been around forever. And they have a very good business there, I have to say. I mean, that place is jam-packed. And then Vincenzo's is right next to them, which is like a small Italian joint. So we're gonna join the corner.
Nice.
And get that going over there for sure.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed. Yep. Next episode, maybe you'll be broadcasting from the new location.
Oh man, that would be great. I might just take the setup over there just to do it, and then bring it back to the office. But it's gonna be very good. I can't wait.
I love it. Well, Matt, I'll let you get back to it there, and we'll see you in the next episode.
All right, sounds good, Charlie. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you for listening to the Savor Food Podcast. To learn more about Savor First Choice Catering, go to savorfirstchoicecatering.com. That's Savor, SAVOUR, First, FIRST, Choice, CHOICE, Catering, CATERING.com, or call 239-351 5547.